I want you to pay attention to this video because it contains a lot of different issues that we will talk about. As a result of the continuous disagreement in the XRP community regarding Ripple's failure to finance projects and the departure of users to other chains owing to their inability to survive there, the cat is in the bottle and the cat is in the bottle. And this is shown by the fact that an ongoing conflict has occurred regarding the XRPL. Because there is a lack of money and there is not enough of a use case for the full project, we will go through it, and I will present you with the option to accept it in order to acquire additional information. Simply put, the reason why people are fighting for their rights is what I am referring to when I use the term. People on the XRP ledger are unwilling to spend their XRP, which is causing their project to fail. This is either because Ripple is not financing the project or because not enough people are interested in it. Both of these factors are contributing to the failure of the project. Do you want to go over my response? That's what I say, and that is your project. I'm just being honest about it. Simply pay attention. To tell you the truth, you most likely assume that your decision to switch to a different chain is the reason because you are a part of one of the most modern chains, your project will be the best thing that has ever happened, and it won't matter where you put it because it will be the best thing ever. You will not experience any changes to your project if you decide to use Solana, which is the most widely used blockchain that is currently available. In spite of the fact that you relocate, it will not change. In the event that you migrate over to the base and you have a project on the XRP ledger that was previously maintained on Solana, it will now be maintained on the base. Those projects who are able to endure this bull run will be those that are able to carry over into the subsequent bear market and the bull market that will follow in the year 2028. The ones that are actually building are the ones that we are going to plunge straight into doing. Let's have a look at the pricing. Let us have a discussion after we have finished analyzing the acts taken by El Salvador. Ethereum has climbed by about 1%, reaching a closing price of $29.41 in relation to the XRP ledger Bitcoin and the current state of affairs. Bitcoin has reached $61,800 during the course of the past 24 hours. A further 0.5% gain has occurred, and both USDC and ETH are currently closing at their respective dollar pegs. When it comes to XRPP, yeah, people, it is 2 for $1.50, but it won't last for very long since there will be a movement in the opposite direction after that. There has been no further activity on the sideways side. Within a very short period of time, the total market value of cryptocurrencies will reach $2 trillion. This is just incredible in any way. An updated website that monitors El Salvador's national Bitcoin treasury has been made available to the public. All of this is wonderful. A total of 5,748 Bitcoins with a value of more than $353 million were acquired by us. These statistics are even more amazing when one considers that the Bitcoin market is now experiencing a bull market. Listen up, all of this is pleasant and enjoyable. The fact is that they will, in fact, surpass $1 billion throughout this cycle, nevertheless. What will occur if Bitcoin falls below these figures? As you are aware, you have the ability to view the chart. What is the next step then? Despite the fact that it will give the impression of having fallen off the edge, everything is all right for the time being. It will, and if they do go through with it, it will be fascinating to see. This is something that XRPL ought to exhibit in the future. Take a look at this chart of Bitcoin. There is not a lot to see at this location. There were no changes made to the general situation. There has been no change in the situation, and the accumulation has been moving in a sideways direction, ranging from 60 to 64,000. 74,000 is the range of your breakout. The situation is as simple as that. Not a single thing has changed, and the movement is going in the wrong direction. As was noted earlier, there has been some action on Bitcoin that is occurring in the background. We were aware that it would take place, and we anticipated that there would be a significant increase in price right after that. Due to the fact that everyone simply anticipates that the markets will go up, we were going to see a tiny decline as well as some accumulation in the sideways direction. The bull run is over. Many are shouting, Bitcoin has already reached its peak and the bull run is over. As well as the fact that they are starting to sell their assets, which is a wholly false and misleading statement. We are in fact observing from the sidelines. As of right now, accumulation is taking place. I'm sorry, but this video is already here. This video is going to be saved until tomorrow, when I will be approximately halfway through CU class. I really hope that we have a wide variety of issues to talk about, so let's get started. I'm going to start by taking a little drink of my water. Chip asserts that some of the most innovative projects on the XRP ledger, in particular the one that asserts to be the most inventive in terms of integrating payments, represent some of the most creative initiatives. This truly blew my mind off. It is quite amusing to see that Ripple was formerly a sponsor of endeavors of this nature. Forte is a gaming startup that is not associated with the XRP ledger and does not have any usage limits. The company claims that it provided Forte with $100 million in 2019. There were no restrictions in place. When Ripple was merely a share, I had a conversation with two companies that had won money in one of Ripple's earliest rounds. Both of these companies had gotten funding from Ripple. During that time period, Ripple was essentially distributing the funds to the projects without asking any questions about the matter. It appears that I have just handed them the money. A significant number of the projects that we are aware of have gotten initial funding without taking into consideration the implications of providing $1 million to 100 different manufacturing initiatives that are based on XRP. It is imperative that you pay attention to this if you are looking for money. Before making any queries, you need to make sure that you have sufficient dollars inside your possession. $1 million is something you had better give up on. If you want to reach your target of $1 million, you need to devote a portion of your commercial enterprise to achieving this objective. Okay, so it appears that these grants are being distributed appropriately. Ripple is creating grants for businesses to build on, which means that you can go to any pitch and ask a venture capitalist for $1 million. It is imperative that you have your books prepared to back them up. The sum of money that you have earned is an important consideration. The space above you serves as your runway. In the event that you pursue them and communicate your intention to do so, you are aware of the time frame in which you anticipate them to return your investment and the amount of money they will leave your company. I'm not sure. To put it more simply, I'm supposed to be making up. Based on these numbers, it appears that you ought to provide them with 5% of your firm in exchange for 20% of it. This suggests that you should conduct a comprehensive analysis of your organization. On its surface, it has the appearance of a little shark. The tank is immediately in front of you, so you are ready to proceed. There's no difficulty with 1 million. You are aware that a pitch will ask you, how much are you looking for? And you are prepared to answer that question. What are the prerequisites that you need to fulfill in order to look for these companies? Because you are in the wrong sector if you need money from a venture capitalist in order to begin your product. In order for you to construct it in the appropriate manner, they are going to offer you a sum of $200,000 or even $100,000 or $120,000. You are in a difficult situation. Your project is not available at this time. In the event that you are dependent on other people and want cash in order to finish your job, you will simply vanish. A project has never been assigned to you. Taking into consideration the outcomes that would take place if I were a venture capitalist and I were to examine this situation, I would provide you with funding from an external source. After you have successfully launched your project and it has begun to function, it will eventually become defective and will require an upgrade. Things need to be altered in some way. Repairs are going to be required at some point. It will be more expensive for you, comparable to the cost of purchasing a yacht. For example, you buy a yacht. How does it come about? To ensure that the thing continues to exist, all you need to do is continue to pour money into it. Similar to the last suggestion, Ripple need to be providing additional funds for efforts. They ought to be aware of this. I wholeheartedly concur with that, however, should initiatives be considered for funding solely on the basis of the amount of buzz they produce on social networking platforms. Despite the fact that I am not linked with Ripple, I am of the opinion that they should investigate these projects and their performance history in order to guarantee that they will fulfill their pledges and obtain adequate money for their launch. The company is paying all of these individuals on Twitter to talk about their idea and generate excitement about it, in a manner that is completely contrary to what